From one lovely singer to another, Alfie Boe took the lead role of Jean Valjean in the 25th anniversary concert of Les Mis in 2010 at the O2 Arena. And last year he was invited to sing at the Queen's Diamond Jubilee concert because he is the Royals' favourite tenor. He's a trained opera singer and has been a lover of many different styles of music, from rock, pop through to opera. And his last two albums, Storyteller and Trust, which was released in November last year, have showcased his talent as a crossover artist. Alfie was born in Lancashire, lovely Lancashire, in 1963 and was baptised, wait for it, sorry, 1973. I've just taken 20 years off him, although his skin does look that good. Born in 73, he was baptised, wait for it, Alfred Giovanni Roncalli Boe. I started by asking him if he was just a little bit Italian.
There's no Italian at all. My first name, Alfred, I was named after my father. In the middle section, the Giovanni Roncalli, I come from a Irish Catholic family, and so my mother gave me the middle name of Pope John the 23rd.
Very specific.
It was Giovanni Roncalli.
Because it also does sound like a fragrance.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Giovanni by Roncalli.
I never thought of that, actually.
I think we should launch it.
That's really good. I wonder how it'd smell.
Amazing.
Really.
That's just the answer you've got to give. So, I mean, Catholicism is in your name. Was it a big part of your growing up?
It was, yeah, it was. It was a big deal for me when I was a kid. Getting woken up on a Sunday morning, brushed hair, best clothes, go to church, sit in mass for what seemed like hours, but it was 45 minutes, and then come out of mass, go home, sit down and be with the family, have Sunday dinner. And that was our routine every weekend. And then sometimes my mum would come into the living room, switch the TV off and say, right, we're off to benediction, and it'd be like, okay, there we go.
But I love the smell of benediction.
Yeah.
Isn't
The
that
incense is incredible.
amazing? I mean, how much of that music, because when you mentioned benediction, and one of my favourite hymns,
Can you sing a bit louder?
I'll do the concert version. I mean, it's beautiful and it's massive, and when the whole
Could you sing it one more time, please?
Do you know, Alfie Boe? No. Here I'm sitting with a professional singer and I'm singing. You start cooking then.
Sorry, okay.
No, sing it for me. How does it go?
Praise my Lord, the soul in heaven, to the Father and the Son.
See, but that's... But there is a bigness about kind of some of those hymns, very similar to the sort of way you sing, or is that just in terms of a performance level?
Very much so. I mean, the hymns are musical prayers, really. You know, hymns are something that you should really throw yourself into. And praise my soul, the King of Heaven, or something, praise my Lord, the King of Heaven, that the first words to that particular hymn. And it's very powerful what you're saying. To embody those words and embody that music, you have to give it everything. Unfortunately, people in church on a Sunday morning, maybe after a night out on a Saturday, don't have that much enthusiasm, you know. So it's praise, you know. But if you do embrace that music and embrace the words and feel what it's meant to do, it can mend your soul and mend your life in so many different ways.
It was interesting. I was thinking about the similarities you and I have, apart from incredibly well manicured beards. You grew up in Lancashire, working class and a deeply religious family, very much like me, you know, Glasgow, but with a great love of having a good time.
Yeah.
The question I'm asking is Lancashire working class Catholicism different from what some of our listeners who aren't familiar with that part of the world, would they recognise it? What's different about it?
In the north, I think the world of Catholicism does centre around social gatherings and a lot of family-run parishes. And if there's somebody having a problem within the church or within that parish, there seems to be more of a connection with helping them out or giving them a hand and becoming more about one family, if you will, you know.
Your eyes light up when you talk about your Catholicism, you know that?
Really, thank you. Thank you. Well, it's close to me. It's something that I really lean on and really depend on at times in my life. When things aren't going quite right, you have to have something to secure you. And family, friends do that for me, and that's always been what the church has had a connection with.
How have you found your Catholicism change? You know, you live in America now. We're going to talk about that in the second half. You are on the road quite a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You are so clearly rooted in Lancashire, yet you're never there, sort of thing.
No, it's true. I don't get back home as often as maybe I should or I would like. It is hard to keep that routine of Mass, but your faith is always with you. I mean, your faith is something that you'll never lose or you'll never leave.
But it must have been tried and tested, particularly in this business.
Yeah, it has. This industry is hard.
What do you find hard about it?
Sometimes your confidence is maybe shaken or a bit knocked, and it's weird trying to be popular. Do you know what I mean? It's hard. This is not a regular job. You know?
No, it's a highly irregular job.
And you put yourselves out there to basically please an audience and to present them with good music or sort of good jokes.
Sort of good jokes. That's definitely one from our website.
There you go.
Sort of good jokes.
Sort of
Alfie Boe. But I wonder whether, given your faith and given those moments of darkness that, I mean, you know, everyone has, regardless of what they do, and it's different for different people, whether you make a connection between the reason you're here, whether you believe there's a spiritual reason why you have the gift you have.
That's a
light-hearted question.
Yeah, pretty deep question.
It's better than my sort of jokes, I think.
I think for everybody that's born into this world has to discover why we're here. But for me, I feel I have, to an extent, found the reason why I'm here.
Can you remember the moment? Was there a road to Damascus moment when you thought, God, that is why I'm here?
It wasn't a road to Damascus, but it was a road to Preston. It was a road to Bispam, yeah. It was. I was on my bike riding to work. I'd stopped singing for about 2 years because I was concentrating on an apprenticeship. I was being a car mechanic. But I was on the road riding my bike to work, and I thought, this is not what I want to be doing. This is not what I should be doing. And it was seriously like somebody was whispering in my ear, or a light had gone on, or a little flame had ignited. So I left work that day and contacted a friend about amateur dramatics.
So you basically turned your back on what was a life set up.
Yeah.
But you couldn't have that hair and that beard and be a mechanic. I'm just saying, Alf. I'm just saying, bro. Listen, we're going to talk some more, and I'm really interested in your musical choice. Can you tell me what you've chosen to play this morning?
Again, hymns really affect me, and there's two types. There's the big pomp and circumstance of hymn, the
Led Zeppelin
hymn. Yeah, well, this is more of a Pink Floyd hymn. Be Still My Soul, and it's a calming, relaxing, really gives you an opportunity to examine things internally and really examine your thoughts.
And you sung a version of this on your 2007 album Onward.
Thank you.
That's all right.
Thanks for not playing it, though.
Well, we want to spread your love. We're playing you later in the show anyway. This is Beth Nielsen Chapman with Be Still My Soul. That was beautiful. Beth Nielsen Chapman with Be Still My Soul, which is the musical choice of my lovely guest, Alfie Boe. That was a very religious choice, and you know, we've talked about how important your religion was in your growing up, and you took a big left turn because you now live in America in a place called Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Because you married an American woman. How has been around Mormonism and the like? Because you've sung with the Mormon Tabernacle Choir as well.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. It is a different world, I've got to say. My wife doesn't come from a Mormon family. The Mormon Church, they really help neighbourhoods and the city and the towns, and they're wonderful people. They're really really sweet. And working with them for the Mormon Tabernacle Choir concert was quite an event. They don't hold back. They like their pomp and circumstance as well, you know. They like their big routines and rituals, but they don't like coffee, which is a big drawback for me. And I think I was the first person to bring coffee into the
They don't
tabernacle.
like coffee because it's a stimulant.
It's a stimulant, yeah.
That's fascinating. How has your faith been affected? Because in a sense, when you go to a place so dominated by a different flavour, it must make you ask questions of your own self, and also as you're going through the amazing journey that's your life, there are questions being asked. It's quite a complex
It is. I mean, I obviously come from very strong Catholic background, with my mother being Irish descent and things. So whenever I do go to a place that is dominated by another religion, I like to embrace it. I like to take on board what they believe, but in a way it makes me believe what I was brought up to believe stronger. You can't convert a Catholic.
No,
Well,
you
me
can't.
anyway.
No, I know. I'm an honorary Catholic.
There you go. Yeah. Sorry.
Right, moving on.
Okay.
I am always interested, particularly there's all sorts of different musicians and the like, but I'm always fascinated by what really strong singers listen to, because if you can sing as incredibly well as you do, I often think that perhaps that rules out other things you're going to listen to. So what would be on your kind of your playlist this week?
Well, music is a big part of my life anyway. I mean, I listen to music more than watch television. On my playlist consists of so many different things. You know, it's got classic rock,
like what?
Like Led Zeppelin and
I'm going to give you my love.
There you go. That's
I'm
a good.
going to give you my love. I've got
Thank
a whole
you very
lot of
much.
love.
Or is that just a? Oh, you're mentioning the songs.
Yeah.
Sorry. I like some of the modern bands that are out there today, but I also like the stuff that I trained in singing. You know, I was at home cooking dinner for family the other week, and I switched on the stereo and just started playing the operas that I'd been in. Not my recordings, but I'd started putting Pavarotti on and Maria Callas and Giuseppe Di Stefano, and it brought back so many memories for me, and also so many warm feelings. And I listen to a lot of Neapolitan repertoire, a lot of the Italian folk stuff, and that stuff that's always in my concerts and always in my repertoire. I'm going to resurrect that for myself as well at some point, but it's music that inspires me, and rock and roll is music that inspires me. And I know I've over the years I've sung a fair few different songs, you know, in different styles, but I tried to discover why I was doing that, and it was sort of a case of I want to show the public that there's no difference between classical and rock. But to be honest, I think it's more of a case of I want to show what I can do with my voice.
But I think that sort of, in a sense, everything about you is, you know, we talk about, you know, crossover from, you know, the kind of, you know, one genre to another, or we talk about the working class and then opera, which is, you know, they seem worlds apart and all that, but it does just genuinely seem to be a love of what is good.
Yeah. I mean, I want to be able to appeal to a wide audience, audiences that like different styles of music, but I think trying to do that through the repertoire can be hard, but trying to trust in the voice that you've got and trust that that's what will work is something that's work.
Now, you've used the word trust there twice, which just so happens to be the name of a French rock band from the mid-70s, and also the name of your new album, which came out in November.
That wasn't intentionally, by the way.
Well, no, it wasn't, but I think I always think it's interesting what people choose to call their albums, because what I really like is when you had an album called Storyteller, which I think is a beautiful thing to refer to someone that sings as a storyteller, because that's actually what it's about. Why trust? Why is this album called Trust?
Well, I think trust in the music is a big thing, but also trust in, for me personally, I like to think it's about me saying trust in me as a singer. Trust that I'll deliver what you want. I'll give you the songs that you want, whether it's on this album or the next, or trust in me as an artist to entertain you, because that's what I am. I'm an entertainer.
Do you know what I really like about that answer is you're not altogether sure, are you? But do you know what I mean? You're not sitting here saying the album's called Brilliant because I'm brilliant. It's called Trust because you're still negotiating with your audience. It's an ongoing process.
I think you have to. I think, you know, you have to discover the journey as you go along. If everything's mapped out and planned, and this is what you're going to do and that's what you're going to do, and 10 years down the line you're going to be that sort of a singer, what's exciting about that? You know, you've got to live for the moment and juggle everything as you go along, and that's what makes this job tricky sometimes and hard, because it's an ongoing process.
But can I just tell you, in Alfie we trust.
Thank you.
Absolutely charming to see you again. Good luck with the album, good luck with the tour, and good luck with Salt Lake City.
Shadows are falling and I'm running out of breath.